Challenges and more challenges are just the beginning for stay-at-home students trying to learn online. Students throughout the world, including those in college, were suddenly forced to go home and learn remotely either through online classes, paper packets, or lessons on TV due to the outbreak of COVID's pandemic. Only in the US, 75 million students are not in school, said Dr. Marani from the Johns Hopkins Institute. This has never happened, not at least in the last century. The pandemic has only broadened the inequities that already existed between students. With so many students at home without computers or internet connections, educators fear that as many as a quarter of them are not engaged in school at all. There are students who are in the best situations. They have a computer, they have an internet connection, and they have a quiet room. Some of them don't have any other obligation. They are not taking care of their younger siblings while their parents are working. They are not sick. But what about those who are not in these conditions? Those without access to internet, without access to a computer, those who live in extreme poverty. According to the UN, nearly 830 million learners globally do not have access to a computer. Additionally, more than 40% have no internet access at home, even if they had a computer. That means that an average of 50% of all students is currently out of the classroom. As Dr. David Kirkland from NYU said, average is an important word to take into consideration during this pandemic, as different students are experiencing this very differently. As an educator, I'm struggling with the problems the pandemic has brought to education. Even if students have the access to everything in order to take online classes, they don't have someone there, sitting side by side with them, coaching them through the lessons, or helping them when they get stuck. The parents are doing their best, but it is very difficult to teach your kids when you have to work at home, or in some cases, risking their lives by going out to work on the streets and handling the economic issues of COVID-19. It is heartbreaking because we as educators have to stop and think, how are we going to make up this time? I don't have any doubt that there are many teachers out there giving everything they've got. But even so, you just feel like you fall short. The pandemic has affected me terribly as a student as well. Taking 9 college classes online is really challenging. I am a student that values feedback and that enjoys dialogue in classes because it helps me have different perspectives. Every student going into every grade level has missed out on an instruction. No matter how hard we are trying, it's just not the same. Teachers will have to continue working online and finding ways to work with those who can't have access to these tools. I am pretty sure they will. But for now, the biggest challenge is that even educators don't know if schools will return to normal in the fall. There might have to be adaptation in schooling environment, possibly running shifts of students, temperature checking points, constant running water, classroom sanitization, and a new set of norms of coexistence to achieve social distancing inside schools.